and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi, everyone. I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack, and I'm joined by our amazing co-host and Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila.
Hello, everyone.
First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our very first commercial break, where you can learn how you can rely on Trion. So, Sheila, we have a very fun guest today. Why don't you do some introductions?
I am absolutely honored to do so. Today, we're meeting with Troy Chamber Ambassador and board member, Tenita Bestseller Johnson. Tenita is founder and CEO of So It Is Written Publishing. She has helped hundreds of authors birth their books in the record time. Her company excels as a one-stop shop for the complete book process from conception to completion, not just editing. As an editorial guru, Tenita successfully helps people to pen books that will boost their brand, accelerate their paydays, and bust open doors of endless opportunities. It's just fun to say. In addition, she's a warrior of words with a fierce passion for guiding authors to expand their brand by showing them how to earn multiple streams of income from just one book. As an author of 23 books, 7 of which have been Amazon bestsellers, she's living proof that sharing your story leads to your destiny. Welcome, my queen.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. And Sheila is 24 now. I just launched a new book at
hold on.
Update.
As an author of 24 books.
Yes, it's 24 now.
So it should go to 8 bestsellers then, correct?
Exactly.
All right, so we're working on that.
We're working on the list, yes.
So, Tenita, thank you so much for joining us today. So you've actually worked with a lot of our members, which is really exciting to see you help them bring their dreams to life.
Yes.
But can you tell us how businesses can, boost their brand by writing a book?
Absolutely. So, Tara, the first thing people say is, I'm not a writer. And I tell people, you don't have to be a writer to author a book. Basically, I teach people how to take their expertise and turn it into a best-selling book. So the problem that you're already solving, the things that people are already coming to you for, you should be putting in a book to boost your brand. When I say boost your brand, the book is like a key that unlocks the doors to unlimited opportunities, as you heard in the bio. Yeah. But most people don't think about speaking engagements and then selling the book. They don't think about webinars and paid trainings or paid conferences based around the book. Most people don't think about the movies or the stage productions that can come from a book. So I like to tell people there are probably 7 to 12 streams of income tied to one book, but you got to write the right book.
So it's interesting, though, that you say it like that, because I didn't really think about it from a plays or a movie or something, but like your expertise could actually be translated into some form of storytelling.
Absolutely. And we should all be using the power of storytelling. So even if you're a financial advisor, people will remember your principles. They'll remember the rules of finances by storytelling. So every business owner should be utilizing the power of storytelling.
I love it. Yeah.
So other than thinking about who should play you in the movie,
right?
Where would
play yourself?
I was thinking Sarah Jessica Parker, but
I like that. That would be a good one for you. Yeah.
If you're a business owner and you're looking to start, where do I start? How do I begin?
Absolutely. So I say the first thing you should think about is what problem you solve best and who is your target market, because a lot of people want to write a book, and unfortunately, the most people who write a book, they don't know that going in. They just start writing. So I tell people, don't start with the writing. You need to think about what's the end goal of the book? What do you want to achieve with the book? So it's almost like you have to start with the end in mind because you're marketing a product. So you can't just say, oh, it's a good book. It's about my life story. You should buy it. No one cares. They don't. They literally don't. So you have to answer the question, what's in it for me, meaning the consumer, because you're asking people to buy a product. So you got to think about what's the biggest problem that your clients, your customers, your friends, your family, what do people come to you most with, and how do you best solve that problem?
So it's really taking the end goal and working backwards. So are you building like a storyboard with it, like just looking at it and then going backwards?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you got to start with the end in mind. A lot of people want to start with the writing, and that's not the first thing that you should do.
I love
Or else you could be writing a book that nobody buys.
Oh, that's very depressing. So
it
we
is
don't
depressing. You don't want that. Yes.
So guys, I think this is a great moment to take a quick break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Vicari, President and CEO of the Joe Vicari Restaurant Group, which encompasses 24 restaurants throughout the country. Trion's able to provide for our employees health insurance, 401ks, vacation time. All of that helps us compete against larger companies for top talent. Happy employees make for great service, and that's what our restaurants are known for. That's why we rely on Trion.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We are here with Tenita Johnson. So we're talking about authors. We're talking about books.
Yes.
So what are some of the pitfalls and mistakes you see when business owners are writing a book?
So a lot of people want to use Amazon. And so let's just take a moment and talk about Amazon.
All right.
Most authors don't know that Amazon takes about 45 to 50% of sales, and they do absolutely nothing.
Wow.
So while it may be the quicker, easier way to write the book, get a cover designed, upload it to Amazon, you are giving them about 50% royalties for every sale that you make. So what I tell people is the number one place they should go get your book is your website. It's like sending somebody to Sheila's house to get Tanisha's books. Tanisha doesn't live there. You don't live on Amazon. That's somebody else's platform. So you really got to think about if Amazon shut down tomorrow, how would you sell your books?
So with that being said, though, should they be in both sectors? Like, should they still also go to Amazon but have their main hub be?
For sure.
Okay.
So what I tell my clients is let's put the ebook on Amazon because it's an easy download from a Kindle app or a Kindle e-reader. But the physical books, I make people come get it from my website. So you can make it exclusive. Now, there are some people who I've been working with Troy Chamber members who they actually want to sell the ebook from their website. So they take out the middleman altogether. They don't deal with Amazon at all.
Well,
so,
and I think for some of us, I'm a paper turn.
Absolutely.
Girl. Like
Absolutely.
I like the smell of the paper.
Yeah.
I like
and
the
we like
feel
to highlight
of it.
and we like to mark up the book and all the things. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But for the people who are in the airport hopping on and off planes, they don't carry 20 books with them. So 9 times out of 10, they're reading on their phone or their iPad. So I tell people we can put the ebook up there. But yeah, there's usually like a 70-30 split or it's like a 40-60 split.
Well, and I will say I am that person who gets the book and actually takes the paper book on the plane, reads it at the resort, and then gives it to somebody at the pool.
Absolutely.
So share the books.
Absolutely. Share the book. Share the wealth. Share the wealth of information. So yeah.
See, I do that with my People magazine. So,
valid. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Tanisha, you've worked on with so many different members of ours, from financial planners to education and those kind of things. What about you? What personal books are you working on right now? What are they about?
28.
Well, I know. Are we at 28 yet? No, 24.
24. I just wrote it down.
It's so much fun. A lot of my books are taboo. So they talk about those subjects that nobody wants to talk about. They're all about healing and breaking through. So as you all know, I'm a sexual abuse survivor. So a lot of my books center around healing from sexual abuse. When the Smoke Clears was actually a book where I talked about overcoming depression, suicidal thoughts. I was unemployed for like 3 years, didn't know what I would do with my life, which is actually when my business was birthed back in 2009. And that's the book that is now a stage production and on the way to becoming a movie because we're working on a script right now.
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Yeah, thank you.
Kudos.
Well, and it shows, obviously, you've overcome some struggles in your personal life, but you were able to come out on top. And I think, does the written word have anything to do with that, being able to share that out?
Absolutely. And I tell people, I'm like, I may not be a minister in a traditional sense, but when people come to my productions, when they see the movies, the stage plays, the books, they should be healed. They should be transformed. And I tell my clients, I say, don't write the book if you're just trying to sell a $10 or $15 book. The purpose is to transform the reader. So you have to think about how you best transform the reader through your writing.
It's the impact.
It's the impact.
Are you seeing these days, now that some things are becoming less taboo, that you're finding more people drawn to you, that you're able to help them because there is such a need out there?
Absolutely, particularly with the suicidal thoughts and depression. I feel like after COVID, everybody is like, team therapy, go get 5 therapists and the therapist T-shirts and all the things. It's like, get 2 therapists. But I feel like people are more open to it now, whereas therapy used to be very taboo, particularly in the Black community. And I have 2 different therapists right now. We're still peeling back the layers of like childhood trauma. So I think more people are receptive to it now, and they really want authentic healing, and they want authentic help. So I tell people, don't just write fluff. You need to be giving them tangible results of how to break through.
Yeah. And speaking of writing, so obviously we have a lot of people who want to write a book.
Absolutely.
I chuckled. I was telling Sheila, I was like, I want to write a children's book.
Come on, let's do it.
And I obviously you'll be the first one I call. But like, I don't think of myself as a writer.
You don't have to.
I don't think of myself as an author. So like, how do you get people to say, I'm not a writer, I'm not an author, but I can do a book?
Absolutely. So I tell people they can do a book if they have an area of expertise. So even for you want to write a children's book. Well, my daughter, she has 5 children's books, so.
She's also a bestseller, isn't she? Oh, my goodness.
She's 12. She has a distribution deal with Meijer. So one of her books is in 256 Meijer stores. But again, it was a short story that she wrote in school that was required for kindergarten. And then we published it like Nyla's first day of kindergarten. So it's really simple. It doesn't have to be complex. A lot of times I think we're overthinking it. Like we're all problem solvers. We all solve some type of problem. And we have to look at it like that. So I tell people you can hire a ghostwriter. You can hire me as a book coach and I can walk you through it over 90 days or 60 days.
So talk me through that a little bit.
Absolutely.
So in a 90-day span, you're going to sit down with the person.
Yes.
And what does that look like from like obviously not don't talk to me all 90 days,
Sure.
but like what does that look like?
Yeah, so the first initial onset, we'll develop a full outline of the book, whether it's 10 chapters, 12 chapters, whatever it is, so that you have a method in place where okay, this is a 12-chapter book. And then we'll set some strategic goals. So every week, Sheila, you're getting me chapter 1 and 2 by Friday, right? All right, so Friday I'm calling you. Yes, so Friday I'm calling Sheila like, hey, where's chapter 1 and 2? So it's the accountability piece, but in the midst of that, I'm also giving them feedback as they write. So I tell my clients, don't write more than 5 to 7 pages for each chapter because in print, it will almost double.
Oh.
And I like very short chapters because if I got to take a bathroom break and I got to stick a bookmark in it, I need to stop at a chapter. I don't need to stop in the middle of a chapter. Like, that's just my OCD with reading.
You don't want to hold it that long.
I don't want to hold it that long.
All right.
Is there a sweet spot then for book length? I mean, is it 100 pages?
So there are more rules for fiction than nonfiction. Okay. So if you're writing a novel versus a novella, there are specific word counts that the industry says you should have. For nonfiction books, I'll tell you, I've had transformation from 30-page books all the way up to, I tell people 100 to 150 pages is good. But what you have to realize is if you write 60 to 75 pages in Microsoft Word, you have a 150-page book. Wow. Because it's going to double. So most people are like, well, I got to write 200. I'm like, don't write 200 because that's going to be 400.
Interesting.
So people don't think about that. Yeah.
Huh. All right, well, now I'm going to trim down my children's book
trim it
with
down. Yes.
The picture of a cat.
Well, yes.
That's all I got. I got one cat.
Well, and the fun thing about that, Tara, is with children's books, a lot of people don't think about, they say they want to write a children's book, but for what age group? Because the vocabulary is different at every age group. So Nyla's kindergarten book is just for kindergartners or those preschool students who haven't gone to kindergarten yet. Then she did Nyla's first visit to first grade. It's just for first graders. And people will say you're limiting yourself, but you're really not. There are a lot of first graders in the world.
Yeah.
So,
Every year.
Every year. The last I checked, people are still having kids.
It works out well.
It works out well, and it's timeless. Somebody's always going to be going to kindergarten.
Yeah.
Somebody's always going to be going to first grade. And then she wrote Nyla's first visit to the dentist. Somebody's always going to have a first. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
My niece loved the books, by the way.
Oh, good.
Tanisha, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being such a huge supporter of the Chamber, too, by being an ambassador, by being a board member.
I love it here.
Anything else that you want to leave our listeners today with?
I would just say, don't be afraid to write the book or don't be afraid to take a stab at writing the book. I'm definitely here to help. But I've seen it time and time again where the book is the quickest way to boost your brand as the expertise, the problem solver in the marketplace. And once you do it, you'll be surprised how many people come knocking at your door for speaking engagements, webinars. Can you come speak here? Can you come do this? So, and then you get to sell the book. So that's fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a perk. Well,
Absolutely.
Tanisha, thank you so much for joining us here
Thank
today.
you.
That is all we have here today on Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. Special thanks to Tanisha for sharing all of her wonderful insight on how to write a book, how to grow your brand. We're so grateful to have you here
Thank
today.
you.
Also, a special shout out to Trion Solutions, our presenting sponsor. For more information on upcoming events or how to join the chamber, go to troychamber.com. Thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.